Kimberly, thank you for coming by the studio.
Thank you for inviting me.
So tell me about BCDI-Seattle.
Okay.
What's the community like?
So BCDI-Seattle, we are an advocacy organization. We were founded in 1973, and our founder, she's passed away, but her name is Bunny Wilburn. We advocate for public policy, we advocate for best practice, we advocate for change, and how does it impact African American children and families? We want it to be in a positive way. We have a couple of different fields that we've worked in, one being education, of course.
Of course.
And one of the things that we've done in the past, like we used to have an African American hotline, parent hotline. So there's so many children that are suspended or expelled from school, oftentimes Black children, and you don't know how to get through the system. Right. We would have somebody who's a trained advocate and help them. They would go to the meetings and help them go through the system.
What a great resource that is, because I will say that concern, the suspension issue, which we've all read about, we've seen the data, is such a challenge. And for each parent, there's the emotional component. It's totally new. They don't know the system. The administrators know the system.
Yes.
What a great resource that is to offer someone to help guide the parents through that system and advocate.
Yes, that was huge because you don't know. And then, you know, they're small print and you're like, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to be at? So that was one of the programs we had with education. Another program we had is juvenile justice. And at Green Hill School, it's a juvenile rehabilitation center. We help folks who maybe they want to go back to school and pay for their college education. Another one was child care, of course, because a lot of our members are in child care and or education. So we have a yearly conference that focuses on best practices. And we always have somebody who's African American or of African descent leading a workshop, because oftentimes people will go, oh, I couldn't find anybody, I didn't know anybody, so we don't have that problem. And another one was child welfare. And one of the things that we've done in the past is had Black foster parents come together and, like, you know, we want to have this go through the legislature. So here's some information we want to get done. So that's some of the programs we've had. And I just want to say our tagline is like, who if not us, and to take care of our children.
Well, it sounds like not only a really robust platform, but really actionable and practical. It sounds like you're combining the ideas and the education and the empowerment that comes with education, but with practical ability to attack the problems. Is that part of, am I understanding you correctly?
Yes, because you want to make it simple, like what can I do as a parent to push against the system and make it easy, right? To help my kids and not make it easy, that something I can do, not something somebody else has to do, because you want the parents or the community to advocate for themselves, not, oh, somebody's going to save you, you save yourself. And we're there along the way to help you with that.
Do you think that some of that has to do, some of the advancement that it sounds like BCDI-Seattle has made and the practical tactical help that you give the parents. 1973 is a long time. I mean, you guys were kind of at the forefront, and Bunny was really something, I bet, of an innovator.
Yeah, she was something else, and it was like, this is what we're gonna do for our community, and if it's who, not us, we need to be responsible for ourselves and our children.
So what's next? What's next for Seattle?
So one of the things that we're working on now is working with our child care providers of African descent. And I'll give you like a little history with that.
Please.
Too.
I would expect so.
So in 2018, National Black Child Development got in touch with us and they said, we want to do a State of the Black Child report card. And they were trying to do it in each state. And so in order to make that happen, they were like, we're going to come out there, we're going to help with this, and we're going to talk to politicians, we're going to talk to community members, we're going to talk to organizations and agencies and be like, what are some issues you see? What are the issues as far as what Black children are concerned that you see that are impacting them in negative ways? So it was about 2018 through 2019, and then in November 2019, we released a State of the Black Child report card. So when we released that, it was at Miller Community Center, and they said there's these 5 different areas that are impacting children's health, well-being, social welfare. And I'm going to read it from here real quick because
Yeah,
I don't remember all 5.
Go ahead.
And they were like, here are these they're going to they highlighted racial disparities. So, increase access to early childhood education for Black children. Number 2, increase financial support for early childhood education programs. 3, ensure teacher diversity reflects the diversity of young children. 4, support positive discipline practice and end harsh discipline for Black children.
Yes.
And 5, eliminate the racial achievement gap by equipping educators to respond to the needs of Black children. So this day that we did the report card, we released it, we said, let's look at these 5 things and let's break it down even more. Like, what would we do to increase access for early childhood education for Black children? What would that look like? So people got in groups and they talked about it some more. What can we do? What are some things we need to focus on? And so we took this information, we call it the purple wall, because it's all this information on the wall, and put that together, and they said, let's have a State of the Black Child report card task force to work on some things. And one of the main things that came out, there are a couple different things, but they were like, we want to take one of these, or more than one, and move forward in the community and work on it. So that one was called Educating Decision Makers in order to create a strong constituency. So what happened in that was 2020 when COVID started. So then they had to switch, like everybody else, what we're doing and how we're going about it. So for a year they met, and they were like, what we're going to do is we're going to send a survey to Black child care providers to ask them, how is this impacting you as far as, race is concerned, COVID is concerned? What are some issues that are coming up for you? And we also gave the results of the survey to them as well. And there were 3 things that came out of this. One was what they wanted to do as a providers. They were saying, we want to have open, transparent, and accountable work, and needed to reverse institutional racism. The other one is champion better and dynamic benefits for childcare providers. And the last one, the third one, was stop the information overload.
So that's the child care side. I want to hear quickly about what you're doing on literacy.
So in literacy, we have Read to Succeed, and that's another program from National Black Child Development Institute. And with that one, it's about having children have culture relevant books, being able to build their own libraries. And oftentimes the children's books can be kind of pricey, like $20, $25.
Sure.
And we want children to see themselves reflected in ways that maybe they don't see themselves at school. So one of the things we're doing is adopting different child care centers and family homes in Seattle and dropping off books like once a month, which we're going to start next month. And also going to be doing some parent workshops and how do you make stories come to life. And another thing that BCDI-Charlotte has, they have something about how do you see where your child is in reading. So we want to work with that program and adopt that one as well to bring that into life.
The power of a conference like this,
Exactly,
you get to learn from others, and I'm sure plenty of people are learning from BCDI Seattle. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining the studio.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.